Stephanie White, her wonderful, wonderful, wonderful coach, was asked about her winning this award, this honor. What do you think Stephanie White did? Do you think Stephanie White was excited? Do you think she was happy? Do you think she was overjoyed by the fact that her star point guard, nonetheless, while injured, just was finally given a real honor by an organization like ESPN?
Caitlin Clark shattered ankles, broke buckets, and supposedly broke people's egos. As Stephanie White attempts to play bully ball in what can only be characterized as a full-court press of jealousy, WNBA fans are now furious. However, Clark doesn't flinch. Spoiler alert. Was 2003 what Stephanie believed it to be? Sit down, girl. This storyline, which includes side-eyes captured in 4K and petty plays, is messier than a half-court buzzer beater gone bad. Let us dissect the drama that has fans on edge.
It looked like Caitlin Clark looked like she got a little hurt towards the end there. Is there any update on her injury?
No update. Just felt a little something in her groin, so we'll get it evaluated and see what happens from there.
Yeah, just kind of follow up on that. Looked like she was kind of grabbing at her right groin area. Is that the concern?
Yeah, if that's the one she was grabbing at. I don't know which one it was, but yeah, I mean, that's it.
I promise you that this instructor will make you feel nauseous. I'm not even willing to mention her name. Not because pronouncing it correctly is difficult. Not because of any silent letters or ostentatious French accents. No, just unadulterated annoyance. She is similar to that substitute teacher who believes she is the lead in a school play for which no one tried out. The supporters are only curious as to how someone with that much shade is still able to stand under stadium lights, but she acts as though we are all here to watch her genius emerge as she struts around like she invented basketball.
Style now, would it? I'll let you listen in on what Stephanie White had to say when she was asked about this after they got drop kicked by 21 points. I'll let you hear. You be the judge.
And let's clarify one issue. The discussion of Kelsey would still be a specialized podcast topic, hidden behind novice crocheting and unpacking old toasters, if Caitlin Clark weren't currently in the league. It's not a slight on Kelsey. Amazing talent. However, the single setting on the ignition switch. It shoots threes from the parking lot, rhymes with excellence, and lights up the entire league. It wasn't only that someone finally adjusted the camera angles that brought up this sudden surge of interest. The reason for this is that one player interrupted and forced everyone to stop scrolling. It is not average that produces that type of gravitational attraction.
Stephanie White is a garbage human being. I am done trying to defend this woman in any way at all. So if you are white, Stephanie White was asked about Caitlin Clark getting WNBA Player of the Year. For those who don't know, she won that award at the ESPYs, and she got WNBA Player of the Year. So Stephanie White, of course, as her coach, is going to be asked about that award. So let's listen.
Coaches are acting like guardians of some archaic basketball order, despite this. As if the WNBA hadn't been thrust into the public eye by Caitlin more quickly than a Kardashian scandal. The irony is that coaches are out here pretending she's a distraction while fans wearing Clark jerseys are demonstrating and yelling her name loud enough to shake rafters. What is a distraction? Your fourth quarter collapse of 18 points.
Steph, I don't know if you noticed or heard about it, but during the game, Caitlin got honored as the WNBA Player of the Year in the ESPYs. Just what does it mean to have her impact so far? I mean, there are a lot of really good players in this league, and she got honored as the best player in the league by the ESPYs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she continues to get new awards, and Caitlin is so fortunate, as well as all these guys, really. I mean, that they don't know anything any different than the WNBA.
People are waiting in line for nosebleed tickets and expensive popcorn for a reason. They need binoculars. Additionally, it's not to witness someone's intricate zone defense crumble under the weight of mid-range bricks. They simply cannot wait to watch someone run an off-ball screen. Thus, the masses aren't leaving. Caitlin Clark might carelessly set fire to a whole defense while tying her shoelaces, which is why they are coming. She's giving the league more attention than a playoff game with free Chick-fil-A when she's not doing that. Shall we discuss ticket refunds? because we're entering a risky situation where, should certain individuals be absent from the floor after the second season, the crowd's energy wanes more quickly than a Netflix series. These supporters didn't pay to watch someone get benched out of spite disguised as strategy, or to watch petty coaching drama. The fervor of a jealous valedictorian who finds it hard to accept that someone passed the test despite skipping classes. How dare she skip the line we've been stuck in for years? Is what they truly mean when they claim that it's about earning your spot. It's more about insecurity, disguised as coach speak, than it is about merit. The same individuals who discuss team dynamics are also the ones who covertly watch highlight reels while acting unimpressed. The passive-aggressive whistling are almost audible through the screen.
I believe it's Ohm, Stephanie, you P-O-S. Are you kidding me with this? This is her head coach, and this is why I said, and I've said this before, y'all, the Fever went old school WNBA. You cannot trust them. They went old school with their front office. They dialed it all the way back, bringing in Kelly, bringing in Amber. Stephanie is the epitome of old school WNBA. This is a woman married to a man, goes into the WNBA, and is now with a woman. Does that not sound? I mean, I never released a video, but I did it. So for those of you that don't know, real quick.
It's getting painfully clear who is genuinely interested in winning and who is threatened by emerging stars because, eventually, it ceases to be about player development and instead takes on the appearance of a personality competition in which the only thing being cultivated is someone's resentment. It is not appropriate to place coaches with weak egos close to young athletes. Giving a Picasso to someone who has a paint-by-numbers kit and a grudge is like that. This type of moment has been anticipated by the league for years. Visibility, viral highlights, and college ball crossover fans. At last, it's here. But no, let's minimize it with a strange power move that even gym teachers in middle school would consider excessive. Being the most talked about, the most watched, and the league's most replicated player is insufficient. The question now is whether she meets someone's subjective criteria for earning it. In the meantime, item sales are skyrocketing and the scoreboard is gleaming. However, let's pretend that her presence isn't the only factor driving attendance figures that haven't changed in decades. Completely irrelevant.
Welcome to Keep the Vision, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification for your boy. Appreciate all the support we've been getting. Listen, man, this Caitlin Clark versus Stephanie White thing could turn ugly, and it could turn ugly fast, y'all. I have to be straight up with y'all. Stephanie White wants to play the polar opposite way that Caitlin Clark wants to play. The Indiana Fever got a big win yesterday, and it was a tale of two halves. The first half, the Indiana Fever played that Stephanie White style, that grinded out, ugly, puke basketball.
The worst part is still to come. Guess who will start complaining about ratings and media attention once the seats appear empty once more as the fans realize their favorite is strategically seated? The same individuals who regarded her more like a problem than a winner. Perhaps don't tear up the league lottery ticket when you're holding it because you don't like the person who scratched it. It's crazy to watch coaches attempt to demonstrate control over someone who has already dominated every area she has entered since college. Everyone can smell the insecurity emanating from the bench like burnt toast, even if they insist it's just a matter of getting used to the professional level. Don't seem surprised when supporters begin yelling, "We want Caitlin," louder than the game commentary. Because, in the end, this league doesn't require any more sermons about anything. It requires the kind of energy that motivates both grandmothers and adolescent guys to turn on WNBA games and pay attention past halftime. Fans will begin to consider game schedules as tour dates the longer these ego trips continue. They won't be present if the celebrity isn't.
Content. So, we have Stephanie White addressing Caitlin Clark winning the ESPY's Women Player of the Year award. And you got to understand, Stephanie White, this is very important right here. You can shut down a lot of narratives. You can let the Indiana fan base know you do rock with Caitlin Clark because as of right now, we don't think you do. You don't want the ball in her hands. You don't talk about her plays. You talk about everybody else except her. Hell, I've seen you talk about Paige Beckers more than Caitlin Clark and when they played back and forth. And we the ones who won. You have a constant habit of doing this.
There won't be a polite applause at this high school talent show. It's prime time now. There are lights, cameras, and a lack of tolerance for coaching grudges masquerading as punishment. The rest of the world is merely trying to watch Caitlin Clark do what she does best, dominate, entertain, and make the sport seem like fun again, while other people hold onto their clipboards like holy artifacts. However, since the coach's ego is the only thing that isn't ready for a player who is greater than their playbook, let's waste airtime discussing if she is ready. The supporters, meanwhile, are growing agitated. They know what they came to see, not because they are impatient. And if the author of the subscriptions is unable to determine that, they will look for an alternative venue in which to invest their funds. Every time Kelsey makes contact with the ball, the coach claps as if to summon a genie. But Caitlin is sinking a logo 3. When she is fouled, she blinks. Her contacts seem to have dried up. It features a middle school drama teacher who decided to play the lead role. Stephanie wants the flowers, the confetti, the attention, but it just keeps coming back to Caitlin. It's like a missile looking for heat, and it's eating her up. One conference at a time. One embarrassing press release.
So Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever fans are having a meltdown about they god Stephanie White that they wanted so bad, man. So I've been seeing the takes, man. So now they want Caitlin Clark to demand a trade, or they want the front office to pick between Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White, man. I'm not gonna say I tried to tell y'all, man, but it's just like, I was trying to tell y'all, man, like, Stephanie White is not this god that y'all was making her out to be, man.
She will discuss players from a decade ago, as if they were just released last night. She finds solace in the past. Additionally, Caitlin always changes course faster than a frightened point guard in a double team when her name is called. All of a sudden, the focus is on the group, the leadership, or the work done by the veterans to clear the path. No one is requesting a Hall of Fame slide presentation, girl. When someone genuinely smashed viewership records and lifted this league out of obscurity with the laces of her sneakers, we're wondering why you can't offer her flowers. As a rookie, Caitlin Clark is already putting up stats that make seasoned pros appear to be participating in a charity scrimmage. For the avoidance of doubt, this is not a coaching tactic. This is mentorship masquerading as ego management. Stephanie does not necessarily want Caitlin to fail. She simply doesn't want her to have too much success. As little as Kelsey, and certainly not more than Stephanie, who appears to think of herself as this team's true face. In a season where she should have been the hero riding shotgun to glory, she is ironically making herself the antagonist. Satu Sabali even skipped the All-Star game. What might?
Sabali has dropped out of the 2025 All-Star game, which is crazy in itself, but she has. Now, she did release a post on Instagram as well. Chloe Peterson said Satu Sabali, who is on Team Clark, says she will not be playing in the All-Star game this weekend.
She is occupied with trying to outshine the sun instead. Caitlin has an electrifying game. Nothing about it is typical. She's the type of athlete that makes you stop everything, your supper, your disagreement, your entire life, to watch what she does next. Stephanie is over here in the meantime, pulling the curtains, turning down the lights, and praying that nobody notices the fire. Additionally, it gets more apparent the more she attempts to downplay the excitement. Every strange rotation, every instance in which Caitlin is benched when it counts, and every news conference that is full of forced smiles and cryptic compliments. Observing someone attempt to carry water in a colander is analogous. Dirty and useless. The fans aren't stupid, but it's challenging to establish a relationship when the main reason the team is even being discussed nationally is because of you. She isn't creating a society. She's setting up a trap. One in which excellence is penalized if it jeopardizes her reputation. As the Titanic strikes an iceberg composed of petty behavior and public relations mishaps, she is the captain moving deck chairs.
Hi, I'm Stephanie White, head coach of the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark, and I'm a complete clown! I'm a clown! That is what I am as a head coach. I am a clown. I am ruining Caitlin Clark. I have no idea what I'm doing as a coach. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've been sent here on a mission to ruin Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. And I think I'm doing a masterful job because I suck. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I actually have no idea how I got this job in the first place.
Imagine saying to yourself, let me talk about someone who averaged 7 points a game in 2009 instead, as you watch a generational star alter the game in front of you. This is the way it feels. Similar to witnessing an attempt to transform a Beyoncé performance into a monotone lecture. Yes, the past is important, but don't let it get in the manner, as the future is crashing into you. Additionally, each time she minimizes Caitlyn's influence, she discloses more personal information about herself than the rookie. This isn't about growing or being humble. It has to do with control. It's about not acknowledging that the team is no longer circling around the coach and that its gravitational center has changed. It centers on a rookie who showed up, started a fire, and unintentionally revealed how little some people actually think they are. She is attempting to remind everyone who is in charge by standing in front of the wave with a megaphone, rather than riding it to new heights. The problem is that nobody is paying attention. They're too preoccupied in watching Caitlyn accomplish something that hasn't been done in years, with such assurance that your preferred motivational speaker sounds.
Try to glaze her, but this is the Woman Player of the Year award, and you're the coach. You went out of your way to come to coach her. So I'm expecting you to like really turn up right here and really congratulate Caitlin Clark for going through all that adversity, now the injuries, her getting fouled on a nightly basis, all kinds of things. If you just say all of this, some of the heat will be off you, because it looks to me like you're an agent. It looks to me like you're an agent. You're damn sure about that.
You would assume that a coach's job would be easier with a guy like him. However, not if the coach is too preoccupied with making headlines. Not when she perceives each Caitlyn highlight as a rivalry. Every sold-out venue is interpreted as a slight, and every jersey is interpreted as a danger. She isn't constructing anything. She is protecting it. Additionally, the fans' tolerance is wearing thin. They came to witness genius. They came for jaw-dropping passes, deep threes, and clutch plays. They weren't there to witness a coach-player feud that ended in odd replacements, as well as passive-aggressive interviews. Furthermore, Caitlyn is not the iceberg. It's that soaring ego that hovers like a thundercloud over every choice. You can no longer conceal it. It all adds up: the interviews, the body language, and the hesitation to exalt the player who is bringing the brand back into the spotlight. Additionally, her followers are already creating her legacy, while she is out there attempting to write her own. And it's not flattering, spoiler alert.
Okay, I'm not saying this out of disrespect, okay? I'm not saying this out of disrespect, but I gotta say it. And I know I'm not the only guy that feels this way. Man, Stephanie White's kind of bad, bro. Look. I seen her on the press conference the other day. I'm like, she kind of bad. She's kind of bad, but...
The coach who controlled egos won't be the subject of the article. It will center on the coach who is unable to oversee her own. The person who mishandled the rarest sporting gift. A once-in-a-generation athlete with charisma, talent, and national attention. She attempted to dampen it rather than embrace it. She did this by transforming what would have been a historic season into a reality show with poor editing and lower viewership. Go ahead and continue cheering every layup as if it were the second coming. Maintain your rookie persona. Smashing records is merely incidental. Continue attempting to deceive all of your fans into believing that this is all a part of a larger scheme. However, the reality ice out. The fans are paying closer attention than before, and the energy is off. One player entered the league and reminded everyone of the original reason they fell in love with basketball, not because of you or out of nostalgia. And perhaps coaching isn't the issue, if that's what irritates you. Perhaps it's only you.